The first thing I'm going to talk about are the types of publishers. And as academics or future academics with expertise in various areas, you may or may not have the kind of knowledge and a book in you that will appeal to different groups of people. Some people who specialize in very topical issues have many more avenues open to them. Many of you will not have those avenues, and you will be publishing the standard scholarly monograph that will appeal to a few, a limited number of scholars in a limited number of disciplines. So there are different kinds of publishers out there. I'm sure you're well aware of this. And each of these publishers will have different goals, will have different sort of abilities to access the market. They'll have different procedures, they'll have different kinds of peer review, etc. And all of these things are very important for you to know. First of all, they're trade publishers. And these are usually commercial, for-profit publishers. The serious nonfiction ones, they publish books by academics quite regularly, like David Suzuki, former academic, Noam Chomsky, Stephen Hawking, people like that. They have, in general, a fairly limited resemblance to the types of scholarly writing that most of you will be doing. And most of them have limited interest to you as scholars, in the sense that you're not going to be referring to these works in your own so much. So we're not going to talk about that. Textbooks is another kind of publisher out there. And they are usually, although not always, large multinational companies that are there to produce works per course, and they're usually authored by academics, but they're teaching tools. And so they, like trade books, have fairly little to offer a scholarly audience in terms of research. Many of them undergo a type of peer review, but it differs from what university presses do. They're more concerned with making sure the information is digestible, that it can be taught within a standard term, those kinds of things. And some of the main publishers there are Pearson, Thomson Educational, Oxford, Higher Learning, etc. There's some smaller ones as well. There are scholarly publishers that have, and I don't mean this in any way disparagingly, but they have a particular leaning, I don't want to use the word agenda, but I think you know what I mean. Many of them are left-leaning, as you would expect from people publishing works by lots of academics. Sometimes they're run by collectives, sometimes by individuals who are simply really passionate and devoted to a particular cause. And they're great publishers. Examples include Between the Lines of Toronto, Fernwood, Black Rose. In the United States, there's Island Press. So these are publishers who focus, for the most part, on particular areas. They have, again, some kind of review process. It's not standardized at all. They don't have the same sort of policies and procedures that a university press does. There are scholarly associations and think tanks, and they have a particular focus. They usually do some kind of peer review. They sometimes market and sell their own publications, and I'm thinking here of the Fraser Institute, the Canadian War Museum, the Osgood Society for Legal History. Often these publishers don't actually publish books in the sense that they don't produce the books. They don't have that kind of those kind of contacts in the actual world of publishing. They team up regularly with book publishers and do things in collaboration.